Good evening. I'm continuing with Apocalypse, chapter 10, the imminence of the last punishment. Then I saw another powerful angel coming down from heaven, wrapped in cloud with a rainbow over his head. His face was like the sun, and his legs were pillars of fire. In his hand he had a small scroll unrolled. He put his right foot in the sea and his left foot on the land, and he shouted so loud it was like a lion roaring. At this, the 7 claps of thunder made themselves heard. And when 7 thunderclaps had sounded, I was preparing to write, when I heard a voice from heaven say to me, "Keep the words of the 7 thunderclaps secret, and do not write them down." Then the angel that I had seen standing on the sea and the land raised his right hand to heaven and swore by him who lives for ever and ever, and made heaven and all that it contains, and earth and all it contains, and the sea and all it contains. The time of waiting is over. At the time when the 7th angel is heard sounding his trumpet, the mystery of God will be fulfilled, just as he announced in the gospel to his servants, the prophets. The seer eats the small scroll. Then I heard the voice I heard from heaven speaking to me again. "Go," it said, "and take that open scroll from the hand of the angel standing on sea and land." I went to the angel and asked him to give me the small scroll. And he said, "Take it and eat it. It will turn your stomach sour, but it will taste as sweet as honey." So I took it out of the angel's hand and I ate it, and it tasted sweet as honey. But when I had eaten it, my stomach turned sour. Then I was told, "You are to prophesy again, and this time against many different nations and countries and languages and kings." This is the word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. This Apocalypse is so intriguing. I've read it so many times, but each time I read it, it's like reading it anew for the first time. It's always full of something you've missed in the past when reading it. Something just comes at you in your spirit and in your eyes, and you look at it differently each time, and you hear different things in different ages. But now we're in this time of colossal, strange weather things happening in so many countries. I was mesmerized today watching Arabia in Arabic. It was filmed by Arab peoples. And where the desert sands you're used to seeing, like Lawrence of Arabia films and also documentaries, you're used to seeing the sand undulating, and even the vehicles go through it sometimes where there's no roads. But you're used to seeing the desert sand, like sand, desert, dust clouds or what have you. And now it's unbelievable. It's wet, gooey sand, like at the seaside. Wet and horrible, and the poor camels are out there trying to protect themselves from this ferocious rain and weather and lightning and thunderstorms, and the cars are going through on some of the big roads that they've got, but they're having trouble driving in the sand, through the sand. The roads have turned into rivers, rocks, and hail and snow in Arabia. Never seen it. Camels there, they must get the shock of their lives with all that hailstone and snow around them and everything, and feeling cold when they're used to feeling hot. But it wasn't just there. It was Brazil, it was Mexico, India. I mean, if I lived in those countries right now, and I knew this scripture like I do, I would think it's the end of the world. I would think we're totally in the end times, and that Jesus Christ is coming back very soon. Any moment, I would think, if I was there living what they're living through. But of course not everyone has the Christian Bible, and they won't know these stories or these revelations. So if you've got the internet, I suggest you look at some of those weather programs that they're there endlessly every day. Not just Christian people like the two preachers and MELKB, then but weathered ones, and everyone is making them. But they're being flooded, and there's crowds of people taking videos. I'd be searching for some safe place to be, or try to make myself comfortable. But the people are like, I suppose they're in shock, so they're just filming what's rushing by them, all these cars and vehicles and debris, and sadly humans. Some people have drowned, and we've seen their bodies floating by on the videos. It's horrendous. In fact, I sat in front of my screen praying and asking the Lord to have mercy on them, have mercy on them, have mercy on them. I didn't know what else to say. It was like, it actually made me cry to see their suffering, and knowing that many of them don't know Jesus Christ. That makes it worse, through no fault their own. Anyway, thank you for listening.